In the middle of a thunderstorm, the town dragged a native woman to the gallows. But just as the rope tightened, a widowed rancher charged in and roared, "Tighten that rope if you dare, my boy needs a mother." Dry Willow held its breath while the storm hammered boards. One hard flash showed the scaffold against the courthouse wall. They marched Lena Redbird up the steps, wrists tied, chin level. A red stroke marked her cheek. Reverend Abel Crowley read charges in a voice that fed on fear. Witching, poison, corrupting children. Folks shifted under slick hats. No one met her eye. Sheriff Eli Boone stood by the lever, rain filming his badge. Judge Horace Bell waited under an umbrella, lips tight. "Last words?" Crowley asked. Lena sang instead. Old syllables quiet as a creek in winter. The bell tolled and quit. Hoofbeats came from the north road. A black gelding slid to the crowd's edge, throwing muck. Cole Mercer swung down. A small boy clung, Jamie Mercer, gray-eyed, silent since his mama died. Cole set him by the hitch rail. "Stay, partner," the boy nodded. "What's the meaning of this?" Crowley snapped. "Stopping a wrong," Cole said. "Sheriff, judge. Territorial code allows clemency when a condemned woman is taken to wife by a citizen in good standing. I claim Lena Redbird." Bell frowned. "Mr. Mercer, that provision is dust and cobwebs." "Still law," Cole said. Eli Boone's jaw worked. He glanced at Lena, then at the boy. "It's on the books, Judge." "You'd turn God's gallows into a wedding porch?" Crowley flared. "My kid needs a mother," Cole said, "and she doesn't hang for being different." Boone stepped to the noose and loosened it with a careful hand. "Miss Redbird," he said low, "you willing?" Lena's eyes found Cole through the rain. "Yes," she said, "if it spares a child and gives truth a chance." "Then we do this proper," Bell said, pulling a leather booklet. He read the words, rusty but lawful. Cole and Lena spoke them short and steady. No rings, no promises but the ones required. Crowley raised his Bible like a cudgel. "This is blasphemy." Bell closed the booklet. "Clemency granted, sentence stayed." Boone cut the rope from Lena's wrists. She rubbed her hands once and faced the town. Cole brought Jamie forward. The boy looked up at her, unsure and brave. She bent and handed him a scrap of paper folded into a bird. It wasn't magic, it was mercy. Crowley leaned into Eli. "Arrest Mercer for obstruction." "On what ground?" Eli asked. "On mine," Crowley hissed. "Dry Willow answers to the Lord." "The Lord can hire a lawyer," Eli said. He nodded toward the street. "Best you three ride." Cole swung Jamie to the saddle, then lifted Lena up behind. She didn't cling. She sat straight, a woman who'd outstared a rope. Cole took the reins. Crowley barked, "This ain't over. A witch in a white man's house is rot in the beam. God sees." Cole looked back once. "So does a boy." They moved off under the rain, past faces hid by brims and shadow. Lightning showed Eli Boone alone, one hand on the slack rope, the other at his vest. The town exhaled, not in relief, but in the start of something old, fear renamed, hope thin. Crowley watched them vanish and lowered the Bible by inches. His voice went quiet, more dangerous. "Judge," he said, "you'll answer for this before men and heaven." "Likely so," Bell said. "Soon," Crowley said, "before the moon is full." Eli stepped down, hat shedding water. "Reverend," he said, "leave it." Crowley's eyes shone like a snake at a warm stone. "No, Sheriff, this is only the first bell. Next time, it tolls for all of you." He turned to the church, and the dark took him like a door closing. The bell rope swung slowly, tapping wood, a clock starting a hard count. They left town as the rain thinned. Steam rose. The sky lay low over cottonwoods. Cole swung down at the Mercer place, a plain house with a long porch. He lifted Jamie off, then offered a hand to Lena Redbird. She didn't need it. She stepped light, like a cat that stared down a trap. "Come in," he said. "Ain't fancy." Inside, the stove held a fire. Shelves, a few books, a folded quilt. "I'll find you something dry," he said. He opened a cedar chest and set out a blue calico dress and a shawl. "Mary's, my wife." Lena touched the cloth. "I'll treat them with respect." "The room down the hall is yours," Cole said. "Locks from the inside, keys in the door." She looked at him. "To keep who out?" "Nightmares," he said. Sheriff Eli Boone waited on the porch. "I'll ride the line and double back," he said. "Best stay put." "Obliged," Cole said. Eli tipped his brim. His thumb brushed a small pouch under his vest. "Folks'll talk," he added. "Let 'em." He rode off. From the church road, a bell clanged, slow and mean. Dry willow kept its curtains tight. In the kitchen, Cole set a pot on the stove. Salt pork, potatoes, beans. Lena reached for a jar near the window. "Wild onion," she said, pinching some in. "And sage. Food can heal or harm, Mr. Mercer." "Cole," he said. "Lena," she answered. Jamie stood by the table, hair stuck in points, eyes never leaving her face. She drew a square of paper from her shawl, folded once, twice, again. A bird rose out of her hands. She set it down and tapped the tail. The beak dipped. Jamie blinked. He reached, then drew back. "It's for you," she said. "Keep it flying." They ate without fuss. The stew tasted better than it should have. Cole said so. Lena shrugged. "Plant to pot, pot to heart." Cole's shoulders eased a notch he hadn't known he carried. When the bowls were stacked, Cole wiped the table. "You can bed down," he said. "I'll sit up with the boy." "Thank you for the key," she said. "It's not a cage." "I know." She took the shawl and went to the small room. The door clicked, then opened again. "Mr. Mercer," she said. "Why did you do it?" "My kid needs a mother," he said, "and truth starves when we feed fear." Lena held his gaze a heartbeat, then closed the door. Cole lifted Jamie to the rocker by the fire. The boy leaned in and watched the coals. A house sounds different with a woman in it, even if she's said 10 words. Near midnight, he dozed. When he woke, the rocker was empty. The hall lay dim as creek water. Jamie's bed was warm, blankets tossed, his chest clamped. Cole crossed to the other door and knocked twice. Lena opened at once. Her hair was braided. Mary's shawl lay over a chair. Jamie slept on the narrow bed, head against her arm, the paper bird between them. "He came quiet," she whispered. "Night terrors fade if a hand is near." Cole nodded. The air held soap and a thread of sage. He could have said a dozen things, and didn't. "You can leave him," Lena said, "or carry him back." "Leave him," Cole said. "Let him have one night easy." She smiled with her eyes. "Then good night, Cole." "Night, ma'am." He stepped back and let the door fall to. Outside, a last bead of rain dropped from the eave and struck the rail like a tiny bell. Cole banked the fire and set his palm on the table where the paper bird had been folded. In dry willow, words were already walking. That would be tomorrow's weather. Tonight, a condemned woman slept safe. A silent boy breathed deep, and a widower kept watch, steady as a fence post in wet earth. Morning broke plain, one lean cloud, then sky enough for work. Cole saddled. Jamie kept a fist on his paper bird. Lena tied her braid and took a small tin. "Show me where she listened," she said. "The Blue Run," Cole answered. They walked the fence line to the creek. Water slid over pale stone with a faint green cast, like glass warmed by sun. "This stream kept us fat when neighbors ran lean," Cole said. "Mary said plants drank it like hymns." "Plants prefer truth," Lena said. "So do people when fear isn't shouting." Back at the porch eave, Cole drew out a narrow box. Her kit. Inside, a leather journal, pocket lens, folded map, 3 waxed envelopes. Early pages were neat, roots, seed dates. frost. Near the end, the pencil bit deep. Bitter taste at night, skin prickles, earrings, jaw stiff. One line, tea from Mrs. Crowley to help me rest. I carried this to town, Cole said. Sheriff said it weren't proof. Tea was gone before I knew to save the dregs. Lena studied the map. She circled 3 sources, she said. Here, east, high country. She drew them like veins. Jamie pointed to tiny blue stars in the gravel, 5 points, bright as a marble. Lena knelt. Star blossoms, she said. They bloom where healing water breathes close. If there's healing, Cole asked, why not Miri? Water mends harm, Lena said. Malice is another river. A wagon creaked on the lane, slowed, stopped. No knock. Footsteps, 2 and a pause, then gone. Cole cut across the lot. By the step lay a cigar end with a pale gold band. Not a brand folks here bought. A single wheel track showed a narrow tread and deep rim. City iron, not Gus Laramie's work. On the table, an envelope waited, Mr. Mercer in a neat hand. Cole slit it. Sir, your wife's notes reached me in Denver. I ride to Dry Willow to assist and, if needed, testify. Secure all journals and any samples. Do not discuss them in town. Respectfully, Thaddeus Pike, Professor. Friend of Miri's, claims so, Cole said when Lena came in. He warns you off-town talk, she said. That counts. Jamie stamped in, boots muddy, bird safe. Wash, Lena told him. He obeyed, solemn. Cole put the cigar stub on a plate. Railroad smoke, he said, or a man wanting to smell like it. Do we scare easy? Lena asked. Not today. Cole slid a pantry plank, stowed Miri's box, set the sack of flour back. He tucked Pike's letter in the warming oven. Crowley won't let up, Lena said. He'll stir, Cole answered, tapping the journal. But this pot ain't his. A single rider came easy up the yard. Sheriff Eli Boone swung down. Saw dust in, dust out, he said. Wagon didn't stay. You get company? Just sign and scent. Cole showed the cigar. Eli's eyes tightened. Vale's men favor that brand, or folks playing at it. He saw the journal and something in him moved. Shame like a bruise, resolve under it. Cole, he said, I can't fix yesterday. I can stand a post today. Then stand it, Cole said. Eli nodded, touched the small pouch under his vest like a man checking a scar, and took the porch rail with the long gun across his knees. Jamie edged close and leaned into him. Lena went to the creek with her tin and came back with 3 leaves and a pinch of moss. For tea, she said, keeps watchers awake. In town, the bell would ring and tongues would carry. Here, a different clock started, letters sent, proofs kept, eyes up. The creek kept on, saying what it had always said to anyone willing to hear. Remember and be ready. Evening laid a clean light across the yard. By noon, the storm had wandered off toward the Platte. Town noise came back thin. At the telegraph, Silas Reeve read a wire twice, then locked the door. Vale offers cash for Mercer water rights. Stop, keep quiet, stop. At Mave O'Rourke's, the bell jangled. She rolled a pale gold cigar band and thought of the church jar for the school, heavy last month, hollow now. Funny math, she said. Deputy Whit Talbot loitered by Gus Laramie's forge. A stranger in linen set an envelope in Whit's palm like tipping a porter. For your diligence. The coin inside was heavy. Whit pocketed it and looked away. Crowley climbed his steps at sundown and preached like a whip. He painted Lena Redbird as drought and plague. The devil braids her hair and calls it medicine. Dry Willow must be clean. Nodding is easier than standing alone. Folks nodded. In the parsonage, Prudence poured tea and didn't drink. When Crowley came in smelling of victory, he kissed her hair without seeing her. The town is with us, he said. With you, she said. Sheriff Eli Boone walked Main slow. He saw Wit buy a steak too dear for a deputy. He saw Silas behind a locked door. He saw Maeve relabel a shelf and leave it crooked. The street looked the same and wasn't. Dust tails showed on the north road at dusk. 8 riders, the first on a pale horse that chewed the bit. Black coat, no shine. Folks stepped back from the hitch rail without knowing why. "Maddox Kane," Eli said. Kane looped his reins, lit a cigar with a gold band, and looked down Maine like measuring a coffin. Ash fell on the church step. They didn't take rooms. They camped by the slough where the water went flat. Rifles stacked. One man oiled a hand crank. Gus tightened a strap and kept his face shut. After dark, Silas eased into the sheriff's office and laid the wire on Eli's desk. Eli read it and said the name like a cuss. "Vale. Eastern money," Silas said. "Wants it quiet." "Nothing's quiet now," Eli said. He went to the parsonage. Crowley opened with a smile that showed teeth, not warmth. "Keep your sermons out of my jail," Eli said. "Don't stir men you can't settle." "Are you threatening the church?" "I'm warning a citizen. Don't make this town a wick." "Then snuff the flame," Crowley said. "Hang what should have been hung." Eli left without answering. On the porch, Prudence gripped the rail. "Sheriff," she asked, "does the Lord forgive what we're scared to see?" "Ma'am, he's the only one who can." At the edge of town, Kane's men set lanterns low. A wagon rolled up with long crates and a tarped shape on spoked wheels. The night took the light and gave nothing back. Maeve counted her till twice. The school jar still came up short. She locked the door and tucked the cigar band in her apron. "Folks ain't blind," she told the dark. "Just tired." Whit Talbot walked past the cottonwoods and touched the envelope as if it might burn through his coat. He looked toward the Mercer Road and then away. Silas sat with the wire in his pocket and thought how words could weigh more than iron. He almost lit a lamp, then didn't. Eli climbed his stairs and took the long gun from the rack. Outside, stars pricked through like nail holes. A wind came down off the hills, drier than truth. He poured coffee and waited for daylight that felt far off. Somewhere by the cottonwoods a man laughed the short laugh of someone paid in advance. Fear found a bit, and someone's hand took the reins. Dry Willow did what towns do, went to bed and pretended it slept. Tomorrow would come hard. Sun rose clean as a fresh coin. Lena set a tin pail in the garden, split a dry bean pod, let the rattle speak. "Seeds sleep," she told Jamie. "Winter hushes 'em till hands wake 'em." He rolled a seed, paper bird snug in his pocket. He looked at Lena, the rouse, his father at the fence. "Wake," he whispered. Cole straightened so fast the pliers hit grass. "Son," Jamie lifted the seed like proof. "Wake," he said again, steadier. Lena didn't crowd him. "That's right," she said. "We wake what wants to grow." Cole went to a knee and hugged him. They ate. Jamie watched him. "Papa happy?" he asked. "Happy tears, partner." Lena twisted paper for seeds. "He's been storing words," she said. "They come when they feel safe." "Safe's been short," Cole said. Touch on Miri's journal. A wagon creaked up. Hattie Mae Dalton stepped down with a hat box. "Found this behind the molasses," she said, "since the day Miss Miri took sick." Inside, packed in straw, lay a white teacup with blue ivy, a faint brown ring on the lip. "Parson's wife brought it that morning," Hattie said. "Said it might soothe. I washed the saucer and forgot the cup. Didn't forget the day." Cole braced both hands on the table. "You sure?" "I ain't sure of much," Hattie said, "but I'm done fearing the wrong folks." She touched Jamie's hair. Heard his voice. Sounded right. "Fine news, sir." Lena wrapped the cup in muslin. "We'll keep it sealed," she said. "Professor Pike will know what to hunt." Hattie nodded. "You'll need friends when talk turns mean," she said. "You got one." After she left, Cole held the box. "Miri wrote T," he said. I told Eli. He said the law needs more than grief. Now it has a cup, Lena said, and a child speaking. The heat went to simple things, patching fence, airing quilts, teaching names. Words kept coming. Sky big, bird hungry, Papa fix. Near dusk, Eli Boone rode in, hat low. His eyes went to Jamie. Afternoon, young man. Howdy, Jamie said. I brought warning, he said. Keynes oiled a Gatling by the slough. Whit Talbot's bought. Crowley's preaching names. Vale wired. Wants your water. Quiet, that's the short. We figured, Cole said. Eli's hand found the small pouch under his vest and stayed. There's more, he said. He looked past them to the Violet Hills. Drought years back. Town said a woman brought bad luck. My wife, Maria. Half Apache, all kind. They talked themselves brave and ran her out. I was a new deputy with a yellow streak. Told myself I'd fix it tomorrow. Tomorrow froze her. I found her 2 miles from the cottonwoods with a red thread in her hair and my name in her mouth. Eli set the pouch on the table. What's left of her, he said. I've enforced law for men who break it when it suits. I ain't proud, but I got eyes now. I won't watch another woman die to make cowards feel holy. Lena's breath shook and steadied. Maria deserves a better prayer than Dry Willow gave. Do what you have to, Eli told Cole. I'll stand a post at midnight. Keep the boy close. Keep that cup close too. He tipped Jamie 2 fingers. You hang on to that voice, son. It's a rope to shore. Thank you, Sheriff, Jamie said. That'll do. Night came on straight. 1 star hung above the cottonwoods like a nail in the sky. Cole carried the teacup box to the pantry and set Mary's journal beside it, barred the door, then looked to Lena and the boy in the rocker. The paper bird bobbed with Jamie's breath. Wake, Jamie told the bird. Wake, Cole echoed. Lena met his eyes. Then we will. Pike came at noon in a dust-gray buggy, hat brimmed straight, eyes the kind that measure. He shook Cole's hand, nodded to Lena, knelt to Jamie. Heard you spoke up, he said. Jamie nodded once. They turned the kitchen into a small lab. Pike warmed Blue Run water over a low flame, then whisked it with a willow switch. Steam rose sharp. Cole's eyes pricked. Lena's throat burned. Mineral complex, Pike said. Harmless to drink, agitated or heated, it throws a temper, irritates eyes and windpipe. Not a weapon, a curtain. A curtain can save a life, Cole said. Pike opened Mary's journal. Her notes are sound, he said. Your wife saw farther than most men let themselves look. Cole lifted the lid of hatbox. The blue ivy teacup lay nested in cloth. We keep that sealed, Pike said. I will pull residue with reagents I brought. If there's poison, we'll name it. Eli Boone sat the porch rail with his rifle. Town's splitting, he told Cole when the door swung. Vale sent more men. Keynes got a hand crank by the slough. Crowley's got folks chanting sin like it was seed corn. Then we plant something better, Cole said. They spread maps. Cole sketched the yard. Main channel here, fed by the creek. Cut secondaries to choke points. Hide gates under sod. When they ride in, ground turns to soup. And steam curtains where they'll bunch, Pike added. I can fix jars of concentrate, heat them with coals by tripline. The air will smart, men will squint, cough, miss their mark. Not to kill, Lena said. No, ma'am, Pike answered, to buy breath. Jamie tapped the paper bird and watched its beak nod. Son, Cole said, hear me good. If trouble comes, you go to the hide under the barn. Listen for an owl. 3 hoots, then 2, then 3. That's me or Lena saying it's safe. 3, 2, 3, Jamie repeated. Lena chalked the sign on the barn door. 3, 2, 3. Sometimes a rope is sound, she said. Gus Laramie came with timbers and no questions. He set posts where Cole pointed and left a sack of spikes. Maeve dropped flour and coffee by the gate. "Some of us have spines yet," she told Lena. Near dusk, Prudence Crowley gripped the parsonage fence till her hands stopped shaking. She saw a white cup, a brown ring, and Mary Mercer's smile when she brought it. She pressed knuckles to her lips and didn't pray. Eli walked his horse to the cottonwoods. "You'll get one chance," he said. "After that, money brings guns enough to make the sky busy." "Vale bleeds if we light him up," Pike said. "I can wire data to Denver. The Academy will print it. Sunlight scares capital." "Do it," Cole said. Night came clean. They dug by lantern, tamped clay, buried pipe under sod. Lena's hands bled. She wrapped them and kept on. Pike set his jars and marked strings where a boot would pull them. Cole stacked dry powder in the root cellar with the journals and the cup. "Eat," Lena ordered at midnight. "A plan walks better with beans in it." Eli eased in with a whisper. "Whit Talbot's taken Vale's coin," he said. "He'll tip Kane." "How long?" Cole asked. "Full moon's 2 nights out," Eli said. "Word is Kane won't wait on the calendar. He means to clean this place before Sunday bell." "Then we finish before he does," Cole said. Pike corked the last jar. "We will." They banked the lamps. The house settled. Somewhere a night bird called once. Jamie slept with the paper bird under his palm. Lena stood at the window and watched the yard, the dark and the creek that remembered. She didn't ask for mercy. She asked for time. Dawn came thin. The creek muttered. Cottonwoods waited. Eli Boone rode in early. "Kane shifted camp," he said. "North draw. Vale's wagon hides a crank gun. Tonight or sooner." "How many?" 15 sure, more drifting." Pike shut his book. "We move faster. 2 more jars south." Cole looked at Jamie, paper bird in his fist. "We send him out." "To where?" "The high camp my mother used," Lena said. 3 hours if the trail is kind. A cut no white scout rides unless a grandfather taught him." Eli nodded. "Do it by noon." "You be brave," Pike told the boy. "I'll make smoke." Jamie set his paper bird in Lena's palm. "You hold." "I'll hold." They packed light, jerky, kettle, blankets, shells. Lena took Mary's blue shawl. Cole tightened a girth. "Lena, I know," she said. "Bring yourself back." Cole touched his forehead to Jamie's. "You know the sign." 3, 2, 3, the boy whispered. "Good." Eli rode with them to the cottonwoods, then stopped. "There's a shadow trail. Use it." Lena heeled the mare. Brush swallowed them. Jamie looked back once and lifted the bird. Cole held up a hand until they were gone. He and Pike buried jars, tied trips to black coals, checked gates. Near noon, a folded paper slid under the door. Cole read, "I brewed the tea. He called it valerian. I wanted sleep for her. Forgive me for believing him. I fear what he is. Prudence." Cole set it with the teacup and Mary's pages. "Truth stacks." "Truth burns," Pike said. "We'll aim its light." Dust lifted on the north fence. 2 riders ghosted the line, then 3. Kane came later, white horse proud. "Mercer," he called. "Vale offers terms. Deed for safe passage. You, the boy, the redbird." Cole stood with empty hands so the rifle wouldn't speak first. "No sale. Thinking's cheaper than burial. Bury your threat in softer ground." Kane's eyes slid to the cuts. "Pretty ditches. Shame if fire found 'em. Fires wander. Water remembers home. Midnight then." "Blue suits a gallows widow. Ride careful." Kane went like he owned the dust. By second hour, Jamie's pony had salt in its mane. The ridge broke to a draw. Lena cut left into a dry wash that looked like no trail. 2 ravens flew up. A woman stepped from shadow like rock, learned to walk. Gray braid, sharp eyes. "You took your time," she said. "Aunt Rose," Lena said. "Boy, you got a voice?" "Yes, ma'am." "Good. Camp sound, spring singing. You thirsty or proud?" "Both," Jamie said. Rose waved them in. The high camp sat under a leaning cliff. Lena watered horses, set the kettle, softened jerky. Rose watched the west. Two dots moved on a far slope where none should be. Rose didn't point. "You cast an extra shadow," she said. "I saw," Lena answered. "We'll bed deep. If they gloss past, good. If not, send the boy under the ledge and fight like you mean your mother," Rose said. "I'll lay thorn." Back at the ranch, Pike set a coal. Eli rode up quick. "Scouts peeled east," he said. "We threw a fence fire. 2 slipped the net." "Lena's smart," Cole said, though his chest went tight. He eased the south lever a hand's width and watched seep turn to shine. Gates answered like good hinges. "Night'll be bad," Eli said. "Bad comes, we'll meet it." Heat lay on the place like a cast-iron lid. Cloudless blue rang like a bell. The yard waited, still as a held breath. From far off, faint as a wish, an owl called once in the wrong light. Cole shut his eyes, then opened them on the work. Midnight would take its due. He meant to decide what it took. Dusk dropped like a lid. Eli checked sights. Pike set jars by a coal pan. Cole walked the buried levers. 3 riders tested. Cole eased a lever. Sod sank. Horses floundered. Pike tripped a string. Steam bit eyes and throats. They crawled out, gagging. Kane showed. White horse careful. Coat new. "Evenin', Mercer. Vale says sell while you got breath." "Tell Vale my breath ain't for sale." Click under tarp. "Crank gun," Eli called. "Curtain," Cole said. Pike rolled jars. The crew stumbled blind. "Back," Kane ordered. "We push at high moon." Probing fire, wood spit, glass fell, then quiet. In the hills, Lena and Aunt Rose worked by blue light. Jamie slept on the shawl, paper bird at his throat. 2 shadows stayed till the wash, Rose said. "If they find us, the boy goes under stone," Lena said. "We hold the mouth." Rose nodded. "Sing him down." Lena hummed. Past the ridge, dull thumps, water taking new beds. At the ranch, Kane spread his men and quit testing. 6 on foot rushed, 4 on horses screened. Eli dropped the lead runner. Cole blew the bank. The yard turned to pudding. Pike's jars made the dark itch and howl. "Left gap," Eli called. 2 slid by the smokehouse. Cole met them at 10 paces. 2 shots, clean. The crank gun found a lane, chewing porch and frames. Cole yanked a stoop charge. A geyser flung the crew and drowned the lane. "They'll fire the house," Eli said. "Barn, then cellar." Pike stuffed the journal, Prudence's note, and the blue ivy cup in a grain sack. Flames licked the eaves. They ran bent. Another volley gutted the kitchen. In the barn, Pike set his last pan under the hatch. "One more curtain." "Kane will burn us and sit," Eli said. "Then we don't be here," Cole said. "Stone cellar. We hold till dawn, or you make town. You want me to run wire while you hold the bag? You're the badge. The governor here's a sheriff and a judge. Pike's notes talk. Get to Silas. Wire Denver and Cheyenne. Light Vale up." "I can throw green fire from the cupola," Pike said. "Folks stare at wonders." Eli touched the small pouch at his chest, then nodded. "All right." Pike lit the mix. Green flame climbed. "There," Kane shouted. "Burn it flat." Men swung. Eli slid through the cattle chute into a dry wash that forked like a snake tongue. The dark took him. Cole and Pike dropped into the root cellar and barred the hatch. Stone breathed cool. Cole set the sack on a shelf by peaches and powder and touched the blue shawl folded there. Outside, the house crowed fire. The barn answered with its green banner. Kane circled, patient. "Buy me dawn," Cole said. "Lena will do the rest." In the high camp, Rose stacked thorn. Lena checked rifle and knife. Jamie slept steady, one hand on the paper bird. "Think your lawman makes the wire?" Rose asked. "He carries a debt," Lena said. "Debts drown or teach." Wind shifted. Horses whickered far off. They'll probe here too. They won't touch the boy. In the cellar, boots slid, men muttered. Once, the crank gun cleared its throat and quit. Your wife saw this water plain, Pike said. Use its temper to save life. She saw farther than me, Cole said. Kerosene flashed. Flame walked the porch. Heat pushed through floorboards. Time, Pike said. On you, Cole answered. Beyond the ridge an owl called 3, then 2, then 3. Cole let it run through him like a promise and kept his finger off the trigger till silhouettes earned lead. Smoke pooled. The yard stank of wet clay and fear. He breathed once, steady as a knotted rope. Smoke lay low over the yard. In the cellar, stone sweat. Cole counted shots, saving rounds. Pike set a palm to the wall. Heat's walking, he said. Curtains near gone. Then they'll come stupid and fast, Cole answered. We'll make fast cost. Eli slid the wash, pausing at a match flare. He hit the freight spur, cut behind wagons, ghosted to the telegraph. 3 taps on the rear jamb. Silas opened to a badge in shadow. Wire the governor, add my oath, Eli said. Then Denver for Thaddeus Pike. Publish Mercer water notes now. Copy Judge Bell. Silas swallowed. Crowley's men circle. They'll sniff truth anyhow. Send it. Eli crossed to the courthouse. Bell was there already. Saw a green fire, the judge said. What do you need? Authority without poetry, Eli said. Swear a posse. Call the decent ones, bar Kane. Done, Bell said. Maeve came with Gus and a hammer, like a promise. We ain't soldiers, she said, but we got spines. Hattie slid in with bandages and coffee. Whit Talbot arrived last, eyes slick. Sheriff, he said, Mr. Vale asks you stand down for peace. Show your envelope, Eli said. Whit paled. Pocket, left. Eli took the coin, set it on Bell's desk. You're done wearing a star. He held out his hand. Whit didn't move. Gus's hammer touched wood. Whit unpinned the badge and laid it down. Maeve's mouth curved. Look there, a miracle. The church bell tolled. Crowley lifted his Bible. Woe to those who shelter evil, he boomed. Prudence stood 3 planks below. Woe to men who call poison tea mercy, she said. She set a signed page in Eli's hand. I believed him and was wrong. Bell read. On the record, he said. Sheriff, muster. Men and women spilled. Hands, freighters, 2 miners. Bell swore them in quick. Gus passed irons. Maeve filled saddlebags. Eli looked east toward the Mercer place. We ride at first light, he said. Quiet in, hard out. At the ranch, Kane let the house go to coals and pushed men. The crank gun coughed, jammed, spat. Cole waited till boots mired, then broke another gate. Mud took legs, Pike pulled a line. A last hot veil climbed and burned eyes. Out of jars, Pike said. Then it's wood, water, and will. 2 shapes slid by the smokehouse. Cole angled and met them neat, 1 butt stroke, 1 shot. He dragged the limp weight aside. You ain't dying in my doorway, he told the man who'd come to make him. Kane reined by the fence, studying the yard that had learned to lie. He waved 2 torches toward the barn. Let him light it, Cole said. Our cellar's stone. And your memories? Pike asked. I carry those. High in the breaks, Aunt Rose laid thorn across a slot. Lena stacked rocks where the wash narrowed. Jamie drank from the spring and whispered, brave. You only have to be steady, Lena said. Metal ticked. The first tracker stepped into the slotted dark. Rose's mat bit leather. Lena's rock took his partner's shin. 2 short struggles. Quiet. Jamie squeezed her hand. Owl? Not yet. We listen. Near dawn, Kane's crew thinned. Spooked by mud and green fire, he called them back with a curse. The yard hissed. The moon sagged. In town, Eli mounted. Bell swung up. Maeve tied her apron and took a shotgun. Prudence stood in the road. Bring them home, she said. We aim to, Eli answered. They moved as the horizon silvered, hooves muted. Behind them, Silas's wire ran hot across 2 territories, dragging sunlight toward a man who hated it by habit. Ahead, the Mercer place smoked like a spent match. Between, vows held, spoken, and knot and steel would follow. Dawn thinned like skim milk. Smoke hugged the yard. Kane probed once more. The crank gun coughed, jammed, quit. In the cellar, Cole and Pike counted steps. Out you come, Mercer, Kane called. Bring the papers and that blue cup. You'll leave hungry, Cole said. A torch rolled and died in damp. 2 men grabbed the hatch. Cole's barrel cracked a tooth. Pike's shovel took a wrist. Wood slammed. Rounds? Pike asked. 8, and stubborn. Hooves rose from the east. Sheriff Eli Boone topped the rise with Judge Bell and a string of townsfolk. Gus had his sledge, Maeve a coach gun. Hattie's wagon rattled with coffee. Kane, Eli called, by authority of the territory and this court, lay down irons. Kane turned his white horse slow, measuring. Half his men were mud to the knees. The rest wore the look when pay don't match risk. You brought shopkeepers, he sneered. Citizens, Bell said. Learn the word. A second knot came. Freighters, miners, 3 farm wives. Silas's wire had flown. Whit Talbot tried to back out. Whit, Maeve said flat. Run and I stitch your name to your coat. Prudence Crowley rode beside Hattie, gray shawl pinned tight. Mr. Kane, she said. I brewed the tea he called valerian. The Reverend said it would calm Mrs. Mercer. I was wrong. I signed a statement. You don't get church smoke. Kane's calm chipped. Rifles lifted in one clean line. Last say, Eli told him. Vale owns your bones, Kane said. Marshall's wired, Bell said. Hours out. Choose cuffs or dust. 2 riders dropped rifles. The crank crew stepped back from their darling. Kane weighed pride against skin and chose pride. He knifed the white horse for the west break. 3 shots spoke. The horse stumbled. Kane clung and bled, taking 5 with him and leaving the rest to law. Hold your fire, Eli ordered. We want the living. He kicked the cellar hatch. Cole, daylight. The bar lifted. Cole and Pike came up smoky and whole. Hattie thrust a tin in Pike's hand. Maeve clapped Cole once. Lena and the boy? Cole asked. Fetch 'em, Eli said, tossing reins. We'll police the yard and keep Vale on a hook. Pike passed a grain sack to Bell. Journal, cup, and a letter. Filed in the open, Bell said. Cole swung up. His legs shook once, then forgot. Eli caught his stirrup. I was late once, he said. Not today. I know, Cole said, and pushed east. Behind him neighbors doused sparks, picked brass, set posts straight. 2 miles on, Cole found a false hoofprint pointing wrong. He smiled despite bruises. Aunt Rose, he said, and took the shadow trail. High country opened, rock ribs, a live spring. He reined at the rim. Below, a blue lick of cook smoke. Aunt Rose stood easy with a rifle. You're late to supper, she said. Save me a plate? Saved you too. She flicked her chin. He did his job. Slept. She did hers. Lena stepped from shade, braid neat, Miri's shawl over her shoulders. Jamie ran like a colt, the paper bird bouncing. Papa! He yelled. Cole swept him up and held on. Lena's fingers found Cole's sleeve and stayed. You kept the owl sign, she said. You kept our boy, he said. Rose spat without malice. Talk down the hill. Sound carries. They saddled quick. Cole set Jamie in front. Home, he said. Home, Jamie echoed. They turned toward Dry Willow. Sun lit the ridges like a coin. One cloud rode. What comes next takes ink, fence work, and nerve. The line held. For the first time in a hard year, the Mercers rode with wind at their backs and help in their dust. They rode in mid-morning. The Mercer place still smoked, but hands set boards. Jamie lifted his paper bird. Home, he said, sealing it. Pike handed Judge Bell a packet. Affidavits, assays, and Mrs. Crowley's statement. Copies went by wire. Eli posted 2 at the lane. "No heroics," he said. "Hearing at noon." Crowley waited on the church step. "I pity you, Mrs. Mercer." Prudence stood with Lena. "Pity yourself," she said. "You taught me to trust the wrong man." In the courthouse, Bell rapped once. "We are not a mob," he said. "We're a town." He called Mercer, Redbird, Crowley, Talbot, Vale, by agent, and one Maddox Kane at large. Pike spoke plain. "Mercer water lifts crops. Heated or whipped, it throws a sting that clouds eyes. Handy in a pinch, not witchcraft. Eleanor wrote it first." He held the blue ivy teacup with tongs. "Residue shows aconite. That's poison." Bell nodded to Prudence. She didn't blink. "I brewed valerian from a bottle the Reverend handed me from a locked drawer." The tea numbed Mary's mouth. "I kept quiet. That sin is done." Crowley's voice went thin. "My wife is confused." Maeve piped up. "Your school jar went light the month Vale money showed. Funny bookwork, Reverend." Whit Talbot moved for the door. Eli stopped him. "Name the man who paid you." "Vale," Whit said, sagging. "Coin to look away." Silas laid wire copies on the bench. "Denver printed Dr. Pike at noon. Cheyenne, too." Bell wrote slow. "This court binds Abel Crowley over for inquiry on conspiracy, issues a warrant for Maddox Kane, and directs an attachment for Mr. Vale on entry." Eli raised irons. Prudence folded her hands. Crowley stared at his Bible and found no hole to crawl in. Outside, folks let breath go. Some tipped hats to Lena, who hadn't had one in town since the day she came. Gus shouldered Whit to jail. Maeve set a loaf on the Crowley step. Hattie told Jamie, "Say if you need pie." "Pie," he said, certain. Back at the ranch, Pike tapped the map. "Vale won't ride alone. He brings lawyers and a camera. We get ahead." "How?" Cole asked. "Open day," Pike said. "Show the water honest. Let folks put hands in the creek. Truth travels on biscuits." "I'll bake," Lena said. Eli folded his arms. "Marshall's hours out. Riders in black get weighed twice. Aunt Rose, come down quiet, watch the yard." "Hate don't vanish," she said. "It just limps when eyes are on it." They walked the ruin. House a scar, barn a frame, ground stubborn. Cole took Lena's hand. "We build." Jamie set his bird on a bare sill and grinned. "Fly," he told it. That night neighbors ringed the coals. Talk stayed short. Eli poured coffee and didn't stand apart. Prudence stepped from the dark, laid a folded hymn by the fire, poison lines scratched out, and went home without asking leave. No one stopped her. No one jeered. Far west, a hurt man on a ruined white horse clawed onto a freight car. East, a Pullman rolled with curtains shut and a thick brief. Between those rails sat Dry Willow, awake at last, making itself a town on purpose. Bell gave Silas a line to nail and wire. This court deems the creek public interest, not monopoly. Gus threw sawhorses. Hattie boiled beans. Maeve chalked field day tomorrow noon. Bring a cup. Aunt Rose took the North Ridge with glass and rifle. Eli paused by Cole's fire. "I was late once," he said. "Not now." "Not now," Cole answered. Near midnight, a wire rattled. Vale protests arrives in 2 days. Pike read it and said, "Good, daylight's waiting." Stars came honest. The creek kept its talk hum. Noon came hot. Maeve chalked signs. Hattie ladled beans. Gus stacked sawhorses. Bell pinned a notice where all could see, "The creek a public interest." "Bring a cup," Maeve called. Old men brought tin mugs. Ranch wives, jelly jars. Folks kept a yard of air around Lena, then drifted closer. Cole stood on a feed box. "We'll show what Miri wrote," he said. "No tricks. If you doubt, step in." Pike snapped open a case, set beakers, a copper coil, a spirit lamp. "Plain words," he said. "This water drinks fine. Heat and whip it, and it throws a sting that makes eyes water. Not witchcraft. Mineral. He handed cups. People sipped. Sweet, someone said. Grass likes it, said another. Jamie poured for Maeve, careful as a deacon. The paper bird watched from his pocket. Eli kept riders wide. Aunt Rose lay glass on the north ridge. Prudence stood beside Lena like a post that had found earth. Crowley tried the crowd. Do not be deceived, he cried. Bell rapped the bench. You are bound over. Sit. Laughter came in a small gust. Crowley sat. Prudence didn't look at him. Two men in city coats toted a camera. Herald Syndicate, one said. Mr. Vale wishes the public informed. Eli read the card, handed it back. Print the whole truth, he said. Stay where I can see you. Pike held a kettle over a coal. Steam rose. Mist aside, he said. Then drink. He blew the plume away and tasted first. Others followed. A boy yelped. Snake! Folks jumped, then laughed when Aunt Rose lifted a bull snake by the tail. Town needs less jump, she said. The camera clicked. On the ridge, a spark winked. Lena's hand found Cole's sleeve. Glass, she said. He looked. The wink came again. Eli swung a field glass. Rifle, he said. Cane. Everyone down, Cole called. The crowd crouched. Eli touched one round. Stone spat. A curse drifted. Kane's second shot tore Bell's notice. The camera caught the rip. Aunt Rose's rifle coughed once. Silence. A hat rolled. No more winks. Eli sent 2 riders. They returned with an empty shell and a drag headed west. He's hurt, Eli said. Not done. A man near the bank shoved up, jar in hand. This water killed my cow, he said. The jar held blue dye. Maeve sniffed. Bluin, she said. You poured it in. Eli pinched the man's lapel. A gold-banded cigar slid into view. Name, Eli said. He glanced at the city men. Take your picture, caption, cheap trick. Shame moved the crowd. The man ran. Gus caught him by the belt and set him down like a sack. Pike lifted Miri's journal. Her notes belong in daylight, he said, and read a line about roots and rain. Faces eased. Cole passed a hat, not for money but names. Co-op, he said. Shares for work. Water for all who help keep it clean. No barons. Hands signed. Prudence stepped up. I brewed the wrong tea, she said. I'll spend my years brewing the right. She poured cups till her shoulders shook. No one jeered. By afternoon, the field felt lighter. Kids chased the snake's shadow. Jamie tugged Lena's sleeve. Sing, he asked. Later, she said, smiling with her eyes. The cameraman raised his hand. One last plate. The boy with the bird. Jamie stood on the feed box. He held up the paper bird. It nodded like it understood. Laughter rolled clean. The telegraph clicked. Silas waved a sheet. Marshall due at dawn. Vale at dusk. Eli folded the wire. Then we've got a night to keep and a day to face. Cole looked at the creek. It ran steady, no sermon. We stand in the open, he said. If Vale wants shadow, he can bring it. We'll light it up. Dawn brought the marshal. Holt rode in with 4 men, read first, spoke second. He took Bell's papers, scanned Silas's wires. Arrest Crowley, he said, seize the crank gun, tag the cigar brand, hold Whit Talbot for bribery. Eli moved like a man who'd waited to breathe. Irons clicked. Whit went wet-eyed. Crowley tried scripture and got silence. Holt nailed a notice to Maeve's post. Evidence under protection of the territory. Pike passed assays and the blue ivy teacup in a padded box. Holt weighed it like a heart. You folks did the hard part, he told Cole. We'll keep wolves honest till court can bite. By noon, the yard stung less. Gus set a sill. Jamie walked his paper bird along the rail, pouring cups. Lena brewed coffee. Co-ops inked, Maeve told Bell. Shares for work, water for all. At dusk, a Pullman shone, rolling to the spur like it owned the day. Out stepped Mr. Vale in a cream suit, 2 lawyers, 2 city men. Mr. Mercer, Ms. Redbird, sheriff, judge. Marshal, he said. State it plain, Holt said. Vale raised a folder. Offer for water rights and improvements with annuity. You live easy. The territory gets jobs. No sale, Cole said. Then an injunction tomorrow, Vale said. Federal survey, immediate, you'll be trespassers till a judge untangles it. Bell lifted a page. Not while this order stands. Vale tapped the paper bird in Jamie's pocket. A child deserves a roof. He has one, Lena said, made of hands. Vale's eyes slid to her. You stir simple folk with charms. Plants and truth, she said. He tried another road. Deputy Talbot executed a deed last month, he said, raising a signed sheet. Conveyance of ditch works to the parish in trust for the railroad. Wit sagged in irons. He slid a paper under my hand, he blurted. Said it was for patrol fuel. I took coin. I didn't read. Bell held the page to light. Forgery and fraud, he said. On the record. Vale's men closed a step. Careful, Holt warned. This ground isn't for rent. From the ridge, a shot snapped stone by Lena's boot. Eli shoved her behind the trough. Kane, Aunt Rose said from the north line, and spoke once with her rifle. A hat tumbled, blood-marked rock sliding toward the brakes. Vale didn't flinch. Rough country, he said. We have professionals, Holt said. They wear plain coats and take oath. One of Vale's men reached for Jamie's arm. Photo with the boy, he said. Steam answered. Lena snatched a kettle, whipped it once, and a hot Vale rose. The man cursed, eyes streaming. Cole lifted Jamie clear. Hands where I can weigh them, Holt snapped. Assault, Vale said. Self-defense, Bell returned. Prudence stepped forward, shawl set like armor. Mr. Vale, she said, ask your soul if it likes your company. Souls don't sit on boards. Then you'll be lonely, she said. Light failed. Holt set 2 by the Pullman and 2 by the lane. We hold quiet, he told Eli. Dawn brings writ and help. Kane's blood trail thinned toward the west cut. Aunt Rose watched until dark took it. He'll try the trestle, she said. Cole tucked Jamie close. 3, 2, 3, son. Owl, Jamie whispered. Lena watched the creek. Tomorrow, she said. Tomorrow, Cole agreed. Vale lit a cigar and blew smoke, slowly. See you in court, he said. See you in daylight, Eli answered. Night took hold. The Pullman glowed too bright for this small place. On the ridge, Aunt Rose settled. In town, Silas fed the wire. The creek kept talking in its small voice. They laid out their courage for morning. Morning came plain as a ledger. Marshal Holt drew a line with his boot. Court in the yard, he said. Bell took a crate for a bench. Eli posted 2 at the Pullman, 2 at the lane. Vale stepped down in cream. Here's my injunction, Vale said. Bell didn't touch it. The creek is a public interest pending survey, he said. Your writ is premature. Federal trumps local. Not when fraud opens the door, Bell answered, tapping Witt's confession and Prudence's statement, and not with a cup that carries aconite. Pike opened his case. Assays confirmed overnight in Denver, he said. Silas lifted a wire. Printed in 2 cities. Holt nodded. Evidence stands. Anyone reaching for it gets irons. A shot flicked gravel by Lena's boot. Aunt Rose's rifle spoke once from the ridge. A hat bounced into weeds. Drag marks pointed west. Kane's leaking, Eli said. He'll try the trestle. Go, Holt told him. Bring him in breathing if you can. Eli took 3 and loped for the cut. Vale watched. Bandits, you people need management. We've got neighbors, Maeve said. They stick and show when it counts. Sure. Holt faced Vale. You have an offer. Speak it clean. Deed, annuity, jobs, Vale said. You get a church, a schoolhouse, a station. Cole shook his head. We're building those without selling the creek. Can't fight progress, Mercer. Progress don't need a thief, Lena said. Jamie held his paper bird high. Home, he told it. On the ridge, Eli found blood on rock and a white horse blown to lather. Kane, he called. You're beat, it's irons or the river. Kane's laugh came thin. Vale will buy the river too. Not today. Eli stepped onto the trestle. Kane fired and missed. Eli didn't. The outlaw staggered, clung, then let go pride first, the river taking him quiet. Eli looked down a long time. Maria, he said, debt paid. Back in the yard, Vale tried charm. Ms. Redbird, I can put you at a Boston Institute. Lena smiled without warmth. Out here, I'm needed. He turned to Prudence. Mrs. Crowley, it's already started, she said. Holt pointed to the Pullman. Pack up, Mr. Vale. I appeal, Vale said. Do it in daylight, Bell answered. The town set to. Gus raised a ridge beam. Hattie passed biscuits. Pike chalked a chart on a door. How to share water, how to keep it clear. Folks signed. Silas nailed a notice. Co-op ditch rules. One bucket never steals two. The Pullman hissed. Vale stood on the step. You will hear from us. We'll be right here, Cole said. The train rolled west. Aunt Rose rode in slow and nodded once. Snake's head is off, she said. Tail will twitch a spell. They rebuilt. By dusk, blue stars showed in Miri's old garden. Jamie crouched and touched one gentle. Wake, he whispered. Eli walked to the creek with a small pouch and let its red thread touch water. Rest now, he told the current. Cole set joists. Pike measured a sluice. Miri saw it all, Cole said. She lit the trail, Pike answered. Prudence left a hymn on a sill. Maeve hung a sign, Beans 5 CI, gossip free. When the first lamp was set in the new front room, Lena stood with the match and waited for Jamie's nod. He nodded solemn. Flame took, small and steady. Cole looked at the yard. We'll have to watch the rails. We will, Lena said. We've got eyes now. The creek kept talking. It said, work, keep faith, and tell the truth while the sun is up. Dry Willow listened. Jamie put his paper bird on the mantel and leaned into both of them. Home, he said again. Home, they answered. When the dust settled over Dry Willow, it wasn't gunfire folks remembered, but the way a broken family found its voice again and how neighbors finally chose courage over fear. Out here, healing comes slow like water through dry ground, but it comes. If this story touched you, I'd be grateful to hear your thoughts down below. Maybe tell me what part stayed with you most. Stories of the West live longer when we share them together.